Hello, this is Stephen Childs, The Way of Fairness. I'm still struggling severely from the brain damage from narcissistic abuse. It's like I can't even put two and two together to explain this, but I'm doing it anyway. So here's a map of the Neanderthal gene range. Neanderthal range. They don't even go into Norway, Finland, Sweden. They're all Poland, Germany, and south. The majority of them are coastal, average latitude, and very few are in Poland, Germany, northern areas. You can see there on the map. And if that doesn't make sense, here's a map of Germany and Poland and Norway, Sweden, and Finland above. So you can see that that's what that's about. So what I'm trying to get across, see, I can't form words because I have brain damage from narcissistic abuse. I'm still being abused from them. They're hurting me. And I can't tolerate the bright light. It's like I'm frustrated because of the brain damage they're putting upon me. So why are they drawing all these pictures? They're making artwork of Neanderthals with white skin. It doesn't make sense. The Denisovans, it means melanin people, the dark-skinned people. They did go farther north, clear into Siberia, but at that time they probably had dark skin. If they didn't stay there very long, what I'm arguing is that the white skin happened in further north places like Norway, Sweden, Finland, and the Caucasus Mountains. I don't know where that's at, but wouldn't they have had dark skin too, the Neanderthal? Why are they all depicted as white skin? That makes no sense. I think it's nonsense. I think it's part of this narcissistic abuse upon us. They give us learning disabilities. And they're probably doing that to the African people. So the people in control are narcissistically abusing the people that live in Africa. We need to have compensation for this, for the damages. We need to be able to get justice. I don't like the judiciary of the USA. I condemn it for not creating justice. It's condemned for not doing what they said they would. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, create justice. Where's the justice? They get an F. They failed. They're condemned. They need to self-correct, and then we'll forgive them. So as soon as we stop doing other people wrong, we forgive them. That's the idea. And we don't care what they did in the past. It's forgiven. If you're not surrendered to their team, they don't help you. You can't get a job. You can't get a girlfriend. It's despicable. So today I went to go to a codependent anonymous meeting because there's a fit there. We're codependent on the narcissist. When we're a child, we're very dependent on the parent that might be narcissist. The culture is certainly narcissist. So I go over there thinking it's Tuesday. It's not Tuesday, it's Thursday. That's how severely this fight I've been in has affected me. And it's about humans originated in Africa. And you can't prove that wrong because it's a fact. There are no Homo sapiens that are not interbred with other species. The humans in Africa that didn't leave Africa, the Homo sapiens that originated there, they migrated around Africa, and all of us were sleeping around with other species, including this Homo sapiens that stayed in Africa. And the only thing I found on what species the people in Africa interbred with is it's a mystery. It had the word ghost. Why did they use the word ghost? That's who wrote that. Should be sued for an insult. Ghosts don't create children. Isn't that stupid that word used the word ghost? So I'm in American Fork, Utah, by the library. And the little boy is walking toward the car, and they are the black cat with the arm, the shorter arm. I have short arms too. But in the dream, it was a black cat that had a deformed arm. Left front leg, and it had very powerful looking claws on that deformed left leg, front leg. Black cat. And it's my friend. It looked at me and I knew that cat's my friend. So there's some people on the lawn at the park at the library. And there's some people going to have a picnic apparently. There's a young boy. There's a young boy with an older man. And the boy looks over toward me. And then suddenly he grabs his head like he got hit with a hammer. The hammer to head hit him in the head effect. And then he's got like dirt in his eyes and he's trying to get the dirt out. Nothing happened other than the guy, I'll hit you in the head, I'll thump you, boy. And so then it's like the chief of police. They're telling me telepathically, don't you know that you're defying the chief of police? The chief of police is not exempt from being a human being. Then we need to be fair to each other. So I don't have a problem with the chief of police. He doesn't have a problem with me. Because we're in the same team, stopping people from doing one another wrong. See what I mean? We can create unity here on planet Earth with all the people. So then the telepathic conversation goes to my brother John. And the guy says, John is the father. See, they're talking religious bullshit. Like Jesus didn't talk about God, he talked about the Father. I had a dream that says that I'm planet Jupiter because of the comet that hit the atmosphere, and I got the Zeus wound on my leg before I saw the picture. Zeus is the father of the gods. This is Greek mythology, and Kronos is Saturn, so you can argue that Saturn was above Jupiter. It depends on which variation you're talking to or learning from. So, the Heavenly Father in the Mormon Church can burn in hell for all I'm concerned, because they gave me narcissistic abuse. So if that's John, my brother John can burn in hell. I'm not in the way he is. I am the way. The truth is the way. I surrendered of truth and fairness, actual truth. We came out of Africa. I'm watching this guy that's started this nonsense that we didn't come out of Africa. And he's got some good videos on mythology and some historical uh, knowledge. And I get from him telepathically, I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm hurting you. And it's hurting. I can feel it. Like he's hitting me, harming me, betraying me. And he's telling me he's sorry, but he's still doing it. And that's what it's about. He's betraying the truth that humans came out of Africa. And some of them stayed there. So, like I've already figured out, I had a friend that would always say that, figure it out. And that was frustrating because I didn't know what I was supposed to figure out. Everything, I guess. So, it doesn't matter what your tribe is, what your family is, what your culture is. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. There's two kind of people. People that are fair or willing to be fair, and the other people are condemned and they're going to be put in a prison in their own mind that they cannot get out of because they've set the ball rolling by doing wrong to other people, and they're trying to stay hidden and covered, and they can't because there's beings here that know everything they did, and they create the hell in their own mind. They might start hallucinating. They might go totally bonkers from these higher beings that are atheists that are helping me. So, the possession in the movie Exorcist came from a man named Ron. And the past few days, my spirit friend that's trying to destroy the Mormon church, because she was harmed by the Mormon church. Just like Ron was harmed by the Catholic Church, I suppose. Whoever was the exorcist priest. So he had a spirit with him that was drawing scratches on his skin, telling him where to move to and stuff. And the movie The Exorcist came from this guy named Ron. So now I know who Ron is. And the evil one in this story of The Exorcist is the church. Do you understand? That's the evil one. And the spirit with Ron was helping Ron, was a friend of Ron probably, or it was trying to convince him that the church is wrong. I don't know. I don't know if we could find out. Might not be able to find out exactly why. But it became so obvious because there was a time when the church, I think they offered me to do an exorcism. And I was suffering from narcissistic abuse so much, I couldn't keep my thoughts straight. It caused bipolar disorder in me. It's ruined my life because I can't believe the claims of the Mormon church. So I remember telling them, no, you're not going to get this spirit away from me. It's mine. It belongs with me. I belong with it. I told them that it's a struggle to get reunited with some helpful spirit. So then it was like there's a parallel world happened, and I'm not sure what was the world that we were really in. And I get that occasionally, like we've got it back to one world again. It's like it splits. I dreamed about that. This is where it usually splits into two worlds or something. We don't want that. We want one world. We don't need parallel worlds. Superdeterminism explains reality without parallel world theory. The guy who came up with many world theory, Hugh Everett, He thought that he was going to have immortality by always being in the world where he doesn't die. So, if it's super deterministic reality, his beliefs and his games he's playing in his own mind don't have any effect on his fate, because it's super determinism. Our fate is already sealed, and it's stacked against you until you defeat this evil force of unfairness, and then it's stacked in your favor. So first of all, we got to defeat the unfairness that is with the human, all of us. So I have to defeat my own unfairness first. People might call that putting your own house in order, your own self. So like in Jungian dream interpretation, you dream of a house, that's you. You're the house. The basement is the top of your consciousness, where there might be something hidden on top, above. And the basement is like places you haven't been down underneath your mind, underneath in the lower level, whatever the mythology is in your own self. It tells you the story about the things that are hidden within us, ancestral things and so forth, in the house that is us. So, like water, clear water, it means your unconscious is uncluttered and you can see clearly into the unconscious. So when I got to where I was seeing into water that was clear, I could see these beautiful, colored, very colorful fish way down there at the bottom, down at the bottom of the lake. I had a dream about these original fish, and one of them joined with me, and it stayed. It didn't flip out. And one of them was with my youngest son, but his flipped out. His original fish flipped out. He flipped out. So that used to be like language from the 60s. People would flip out. And that might be about they try to make people think that their soul was taken from them. That might be this original fish. See, this is like the mythology of Christianity. It's the fish symbol. So the prime parent, the original father, was not male or female. It was single sex, no sex, microorganism. That was the original ancestor of all life on Earth, whether it was animal, plant, fungal, all that stuff divided after the foundational prime parent, the PP. I remember this word, this idea of the prime parent, and I didn't know what I was searching for. I was searching for the first cell that divided and propagated and made copies of itself in a primordial ocean on planet Earth. So, where do we come from? My friends, my best friends in the universe, believe, like I do, that reality is a possibility of zero. Reality is one of the possibilities of nothing at all. So something didn't happen from nothing. Nothing is what always existed, always exists now. It's the only thing that exists, and it always will be the only thing that exists, is what does not exist. It's zero. So that's like Buddhism, this paradoxical, how can we be not anything at all? How can it appear that there's matter and energy and planets and stars? Well, they're talking like this observable universe of energy and material is just like a drop in the ocean of what's really here. So it's like what looks to be so huge is really minuscule. And this what's really here is this infinite zero. You know, there's not anything to limit what zero is. So zero equals infinity. So obviously we're atheists because you don't need someone to create zero. It's not ever going to be created. It never has needed to be created. It won't ever be created. You can't create nothing. It's absurd to even think that you would create zero. It doesn't need to be created. This is just logic. So there's a logical argument for atheism. And I just told you what it is. Have a great day.